the things that I say to my patients and clients is that your health starts in the kitchen. And the reason why is because you know what goes into your food, how you sourced it, what you put into it, okay, all the essential ingredients. What I like to say is that when we start to outsource our food and outsource how we eat, for example, takeout, deliveries, restaurants, everything, you know, we have things to push on a button and everything arrives to our home. We're essentially outsourcing our food. So what we mean by that is that, you know, when we have others to prepare our food, they are not looking and paying attention to your health. They are looking at their bottom line and how to make a buck, which is fine because it's a business at the end of the day. You're responsible for your health. So I'm going to teach you a couple of my favorite recipes so we can get you started. How's that sound? We're going to make my Asian style tofu lettuce boats. So now we're going to start on the first initial steps for the lettuce boats. And then you're going to put in mushrooms and shiitake, okay? Whenever you're using a skillet or a saucepan, the tendency is to actually put, if it's non-stick material, the tendency is to put, you know, oil, right? Just to kind of prep the cooking and to make it more non-stick, right? The issue with that is that over time, what that does is that, like we talked about before, is that oil is a processed food, right? It's very, very rich in calorie density, very low in nutritional value. And depending on what kind of oil it is, you know, different types of oils are actually genetically modified, like soybean, canola, corn, things like that. So if, you know, because we're meeting people in a spectrum, okay, there's different ways that we can minimize it, especially those that are fighting different types of chronic diseases related to inflammation, chronic inflammation, like heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, cancer. So we're not going to use oil today. We're going to use vegetable broth, and the same concept applies. So first, we're going to put in the tofu. Okay, and then we're going to put in the shiitakes. And then we're going to put in a little bit of vegetable broth. Turn this up a little bit. And then I'm going to put in half of the ginger here, okay? Okay, so we've added the tofu, the shiitakes, and a little bit of ginger, okay? And we're gonna put it to kind of like a medium high. And the goal of this is just to kind of, you know, brown it down a little bit, okay? Not burn it, brown it down. So we're gonna cook this down, and what you'll notice that mushrooms and tofu will contain and retain a lot of water. So when you cook this down, this will actually shrink. So don't worry about it piling up. And it releases liquid, so that in a way, as long as you're constantly stirring, it won't actually stick that much. And so we're going to take the whites of the scallions and also add that as well. So what we're going to do is we're going to add some tamari to this. So tamari is very similar to soy sauce. The only difference is that tamari is gluten-free. So for those that are suffering from gluten sensitivities or celiac disease, it's better to opt for tamari. So it already comes with a lot of sodium, so you don't have to add salt, which independently, salt does a number for our health, including high blood pressure. So what we're gonna do is that this recipe calls for a little bit of orange juice just to kind of sweeten it. Now from here, what you're gonna do is after a few minutes, you're going to add the jicama. You're gonna add the carrots. And then you're gonna add the red cabbage. Now there's a certain order when you're cooking to be able to place them accordingly, because some vegetables and or fruits take a certain time length to cook, whereas others don't need that much cooking time. When you cook enough, you'll be able to get a sense of what needs to go first and what doesn't. If you're just winging it, freestyling it, or a recipe will tell you in which order to go. Now, as you can see, you're looking for colors, and that's what you want to go for. So I'm going to turn this down a little bit more, and we're going to add the tapioca water slurry together. And making sure that we whisk, because it removes the chunks. And why we're doing this is because we're trying to thicken the sauce. So what you want to do is kind of adjust the seasoning accordingly. So it needs a little bit more tamari. I'm just going to eyeball it real quick. So this recipe is great for if you have like a party coming on, or some sort of holiday or family gathering. They're fun to do. Okay. And you're gonna finish it off by fresh scallions.